Low. This thing is low. Why is it so low? Low. You think the police is gonna wonder why there's a laptop on my console? I think they're gonna be very curious why there's a laptop on my console. Not as curious as I thought he was. We're in South Haven right now. This is a state line, I think. I don't know what road this is called. Looks like state line. This is the first exit once you get into South Haven, Mississippi. There's two commercial plazas out here that are kind of interesting. They sound a little bit on the high side. They're not really good deals. I just think they both have a little potential. Like they're both very possible. South Haven is one of the fastest growing cities right now around Memphis, surprisingly. I guess all the people from Memphis are trying to move into South Haven because Memphis is getting expensive. But probably the next probably 5-10 years, all these this state line road, all these properties are probably going to start tearing them down and start rebuilding them with nicer, bigger buildings. This will be a very busy street one day. There's not a lot of options to rent down here. That's another thing I like about the city is like most of the plazas that are in place are already fully occupied or they're old, and a lot of them are older owners that are kind of ready to get out of the business. They want to retire. That's essentially what I look for. I look for the deals where the seller is kind of done. He's just ready to move on. Looking looking to sell that thing for a good deal. So apparently this is one plaza right here. So this is it right here. This is one building. I don't know if this comes with it. I don't know if these two buildings are part of the deal, but this is essentially the deal I'm looking at. One of them, and then there's another one right here. That's in a cove. Let's see. So essentially, what you're looking for, what these investors are looking for, not me, what you're looking for in these commercial properties is you're looking for long-term growth. You're looking for something that can produce cash flow. You know, if you have a mortgage in place, it has to be a certain type of deal, or you have to put a certain amount of money down to make it work, especially with how high the interest rate is, unless you're paying cash. Obviously, if you're paying cash, if you're cash rich, right now is a beautiful time to find some good deals. This other one is here somewhere, unless I have the right address. Oh, Brian. Brian always sells stuff. He always knows what he's selling. You're not sneaking a good deal from Brian. This piece available. What is that? I don't like this. So this is the other plaza right here. Let's turn around to make it easier. This plaza is completely vacant. No, it's not. It's fully occupied. It's actually occupied. Alien Lab. So this is the building I'm looking at. I'll pull up from outside so you can see it better. This is the building I'm looking at right now. It's 4 units. It's off of a side street though, is my only turn off. It's not really off of Main Street. I've always preferred like a expensive deal like this. I really like it when it's off of Main Street. I get kind of turned off whenever I have to go to a different building. But I am gonna call this commercial sign and see what the deal is. Man, this guy's phone number is so small. How do these people expect to get people to call them whenever their damn sign is you need a fucking magnifying glass to read their goddamn phone number? The fuck? The nice thing about commercial plazas is like you can put triple net leases in place to where just about everything 901 901 901 I'm freaking 20 feet away and I still can't read it. 7094. And I got good eyes. Okay, let's call this guy. It's fucking not gonna answer.
Hello.
Hey, my friend, how are you? This is
Don't worry.
this is AJ with EXP. I am calling about a property you have your sign on off of what street am I on? This looks like hold on one second. Highway 51. It's like a Napa Auto Parts.
Yeah. So I have a 20-acre tract of land on First Commercial Drive. I don't have the Napa Auto Parts. It's just that they allow me to put a sign there directing people to the site. So it's on First Commercial Drive. It's at the end of First Commercial Drive. There's a 20-acre site there that's been approved for truck parking.
Truck parking. Huh. What are they asking for it?
1.3.
And you're talking about the one that's in front of the so there's a commercial plaza, First Commercial Plaza. There's like an AT&T or whatever antenna satellite pole. Are you talking about like in this cove?
To there should be a gentleman that does repairs to like boats and stuff. On the far west side. On the east side of the driveway is a granite stone company, like a granite countertop stone company.
Okay.
And then so it'll be in between those two buildings, the access to the 20 acres.
Okay. Okay. That sounds a little high, doesn't it?
1.3 for the approved site.
I mean, I'm just asking you here. You know, I wasn't honestly. No. I thought it was the corner that I was calling you about. I wasn't expecting 20 acres.
Oh, yeah, no, it's 20 acres, 1.3. No, that's pretty cheap for industrial land in
South Haven.
South Haven.
Really?
All right. That's already approved.
Yeah.
The plans already approved.
How long has it been on market?
I've got it back in March, okay. April. Is
the seller kind of desperate to sell, or are they just chilling?
They're not desperate, but you know they're motivated to sell, but they're not desperate. Like I think I got an offer for like 400,000.
Yeah.
He wasn't interested in that.
Did he even counter?
Go ahead.
He didn't even counter?
No, it wasn't worth his time.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah. No. So I figured someone coming with an $800,000 or $900,000 offer that'll probably get him talking.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it, my friend. I appreciate your time. Do you have any commercial properties over here?
That's all I want to have listed for sale.
Okay. I see. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying...
I can't tell if these were... Man, that plaza right there is beautiful. The nice thing is these are all fully rented. Like, it's not like they're vacant. That is the upside to it. This is looks like a wedding venue. This is such a busy street, though. This is such a busy street. Nicotine patches. 6 businesses, 901 bargains. In the street. So it is the two buildings. It's this building. Oh shit! Sorry. Damn. Ain't that serious, girl? You gotta be that damn mad. Let's see. Main Street, 165. It isn't the whole building, it's just one building. It is just one building. Keep dropping my laptop. Another thing I like doing is that, whenever I have some time, I like bouncing around certain cities I'm targeting, and I like actually calling the signs to, see who the realtor is of the city, who's the good realtors, who's the one that answers the phone, who's the one that has conversations with people, see what's for lease, just to know if it's a demanded area or if it's not a demanded area. There's so many different types of commercial buildings that you can rent. It's just about, I personally like the retail plazas, the ones that are, at least 3 units, because you have, 3 different people that are paying you instead of one company or one person renting an entire building and the property sits vacant for like a year. Like I was looking at a doctor's office in Jackson. They were asking like 350 or 375. The downside to it is one office. It was like 4,000 square feet. A doctor would, a clinic or like animals, whatever, would come in and probably rent it for, I don't know, probably continue drive. I need to get rid of this. I already did these. I don't know. Okay. I'll pass the street. A doctor's office could come in and rent it for probably $3,000, $2,000 a month. It would take a year to 2 years probably to get a doctor's office out to actually take the building. That's the problem. Whereas if it was a commercial plaza, let's say it was like 3 units that were 1,000 square feet each, and you can rent 1,000 square feet at like $10 a square foot a year. The nice thing is that you can at least cover your mortgage with one of your tenants or two of your tenants, and not be stuck, waiting for someone to take the whole building. But I like South Haven because like it's like the older buildings, it's cheaper buildings. It's not all shiny, clean buildings. Like this is an older plaza right here. I imagine this one day would be for sale and probably a little cheap. But this entire street, State Line, is growing big time. They're building a lot. There's not a lot of vacant properties out here. I don't like seeing vacant properties. Usually whenever I see like if I'm looking at houses and the houses have like a lot of vacant, there's a lot of vacant houses, and there's a lot of vacant houses in the area. It's not really appealing because there's a reason why these houses are vacant. Usually you want houses or deals where people don't really want to leave the area. They love the area. It's a family community. The neighbors are all friends with each other. A lot of people just look at the deal. You could buy a lot of people look at like the cap rates, but the problem is like with cap rates is like you can look for a deal like that's a 12 cap. It's out there. Like I was looking at a deal this morning. I actually drove to I want to say it's Granada or Greensway, something like that, Greenfield, something, Mississippi, about 3 hours away. It was like an 18 cap deal, 26 unit portfolio, and the seller wanted to sell his whole portfolio because apparently he lived in Memphis or something and wanted to get out. But whenever I got down there, the city was kind of run down. It was kind of like it looks good on paper, but like the headache and the problems sometimes you deal with whenever you go into these bad areas or whenever you have bad tenants, it really isn't worth the money at that point. Because if you got to sit here and fear for your life or watch over your back because you got shitty tenants in one of your properties, at that point it's like what's the point of generating a 7 cap or a 6 cap or an 8 cap net or even a 12 or 14 cap to deposit X amount into your bank account only to be scared of it. It's kind of pointless. And a lot of people these days, and especially in commercial properties, they just buy just to buy, which I mean if you're buying stuff for like a long-term buy and hold, like people that bought in Memphis 20 years ago or 30 years ago, they probably bought properties for like 100,000 or 150,000, and those same properties are worth probably $500,000 to $600,000 all day long. And all they did was they just bought the property and sat on it. Like they didn't. A lot of times they board these buildings up if they can't get them rented. Some people just have cash they need to spend, they need to write it off, and they believe in like a block or they believe in an area, which is, I mean, it makes sense. Like I see a lot of properties that realistically the building has to be torn down, but the nice thing is like it's sitting on a plot of land that's very hard to, like it's in a very valuable area now. And even though the building looks like shit, it doesn't really cost, depending on the size of the building, obviously, but like a 4,000 square foot building, 3,000 square foot building probably costs about $20,000 to fully demolish the building. And a lot of times some of these buildings are savable. So if they buy the property for like land value, but the property needs a lot of work, they can technically go in one day and fix it if they ever needed the cash flow and didn't have the money to build it, they can go in there and fix it, do little patches just to get somebody in there and get the property rented, which happens a lot these days. Like right now, you see a lot of properties that are sitting vacant, being fixed up to get rented out because the owners or the investors are relying on it for cash flow. It's such a dry economy right now. Everybody's kind of starving for cash. I like multifamily a lot. It's with more multifamily, there's so many little factors that come into place. There's like a lot of little data points that can dramatically change a deal. And then you're dealing with so many more residents usually. If it's like a bigger deal and you have like 200 or 300 residents, it's like 200 or 300 people that are probably sitting there complaining at some point about problems that their apartment is having. The nice thing about single family homes, though, single family homes seems like a safe haven for people because like you can get in right now, low entry owner finance deals. You see a lot of them right now. I think we have about 4,000 properties on the website right now that are owner finance. And the nice thing is a lot of these guys are willing to take a 5-10% down payment just because the property is vacant. If it's an owner that lived in the house and the kids took it over, which happens a lot right now because like all I guess the boomers or that generation that there was a lot of kids are all retiring and are all passing away, so the kids are inheriting their properties. So you see a lot of these deals in the market right now, and what happens is like I got one property I'm working on right now where the seller took over the commercial property from her dad, and she doesn't even live in Memphis. She lives in another city across the country, and she does not want to deal with the property anymore. She's just sick of it. It's been a headache because the city's been complaining about it to her, and she's got a current mortgage in place, so she's been making mortgage payments on top of that, and taxes and insurance. It's got a squatter problem, so it's got a bunch of squatters inside of it, or like that come in and out of it. So we came in with a relatively low offer, but the property needs a lot of work. It's honestly overpriced to what she was listing it at. We came in at an offer that made sense for us, and she ended up moving a lot. So hopefully we have that one under contract this week. I think it was an owner finance deal, so we're really just the only differentiating point is the terms right now. She wants to do a 2-year balloon, but we're looking for something that's like a 10-year balloon, or we'll just use our own banks. The deal is priced right, so we can just use our own banks. I've looked at a couple of apartments in Memphis. The problem with apartments in Memphis is like a lot of times they're in pretty tough areas. Like if you go through South Memphis right now, kind of where I'm cutting through right now, you'll see a lot of 20 unit, 30 unit, some 15 unit apartments for sale for under $1 million, but they have huge unoccupancy rates. Like they're probably 20-30% occupied, and the people that are living there aren't even paying. They're just taking advantage of the situation. Something like that is a huge headache because you have to actually get the property back up to code. A lot of times these vacant buildings, if they've been sitting for more than 3 years, the MLGW will go pull the meter off of them, and that's another very important tip. If MLGW pulls a meter off of a property, it usually means something. They either need to update it, meaning it needs like a fuse box, or it needs possibly new wiring, or possibly something dramatic. That's something you have to figure out before you actually buy these properties. You have to know what it is you're getting into, and sometimes they have like I'm dealing with one right now where the city came to the house, inspected it randomly after the tenant left, and they put a do not occupy sticker on the house. And now we have to figure out what it is we have to do to get this property occupied. After like 3 weeks, the buyer finally got a report from the city that broke down everything that's wrong with the property, and it was a laundry list of things. And it's just a hassle whenever you have to deal with the city. You have to go back and forth with them. They have to come out and inspect the property after you fix it, and they have to make sure that you actually fixed it. You're not just saying you fixed it. And then they also want to make sure that the fixes you are making are up to code. A lot of people try to look at just the purchase price and basic numbers to calculate a deal, but there's a lot of little figures that comes into place whenever buying these deals. You have, like, if you're using a bank, you have origination fees. Your interest rate is usually a big interest rate if it's like a quick short-term loan on a property that's vacant. Properties that are vacant are usually higher risk for banks, so they want to charge more upfront, and they want to ask for a bigger down payment, and it has to be a deal. It has to be a decent deal. Like, something about it has to be appealing. We are going through what's Parkway right now. Parkway's tough. I don't like Parkway. One of my first houses I bought was actually off South Parkway. And it was a tough area. I couldn't get anyone to go work over there. I ended up having to go and do the house myself. And it looked like shit afterward, was the funny thing. But that's just what you have to deal with whenever you have a house in such a bad area that your contractors won't even drive over there to fix them because the people will break into the trucks and steal the shit out of their trucks, their tools. Multiple times I had people break into the house and steal my contractor's tools, and I ended up having to buy them new tools because I was pretty pushy with trying to get them out there. Sometimes you're just in a shitty situation where you just don't have a choice. I had a house in Blytheville that was fun, getting people to go out there and work because it was an hour away, and people thought it was a ghetto city, but actually it was a really nice city. The nice thing about South Parkway is, like, whenever you get up a little bit into the that house I was looking for yesterday, 1972. Let me see facts and see where that house is. I want to go make sure that house is locked. This is not exactly 1492 facts. Facts. This is the other way. Fucking over there after. A lot of these houses and on Parkway in center Memphis are so old, and I know there's going to be a time where people are going to start demolishing these houses and building new builds all throughout these neighborhoods. And then these houses are going to be unbuyable at that point. Like, they're going to be so strict in the area. HOA will be strict about who can do what with their properties just to help boost the value of. And then the other thing is, like, if you have. So another nice thing is, like, whenever you buy a house that has new builds, being built over there at some point in the future. Like, let's say I bought a house today for $50,000. The house's comps today are about $150,000. The nice thing is that once you buy this property, one, you unlock your equity up front. Obviously, you unlock the 50, 30, whatever $1,000 in equity you have after spending the money to fix it. And then two, once, like, if they build a house like a mile away or half a mile away, a new build, and that house sells for like $150 to $200 a square foot, it actually boosts the value of your house up too. So another thing I like doing is I like looking for areas that investors are targeting when it comes to building new builds, and I like buying the beat up rough houses in the area, the $10,000-$20,000 houses that are in that block somewhere, so that I can either build a house there myself in the future or just sit on that house until the comps look really good, and then put it back on the market and sell it again in a couple years. Obviously, you have to have some cash to do that, but if I can find deals that are like owner finance like that, I always like them. I have a couple houses right now in North Memphis it's a tough fucking area, but in the area, in the block, there are a lot of new builds already, and they are buying and tearing down a lot of houses and building new houses down there. So I've been looking for something that's just really cheap like really good deals I can just, buy and kind of sit on. We're on Park right now. Park is going to be very interesting in a few years because all these buildings are, super old, and this area is, looks way more ghetto than it really is. This restaurant right here is for sale. I want to say they're asking like $400,000 for it, but all the blocks are like the areas are so tough here. The nice thing is like the streets are rebuilt. All the streets are repaved. They got new curbs and sidewalks down here, which is always good long term. It means that the city has got plans for this area. This is Orange Mound right now. A lot of people have their eyes on Orange Mound right now. A lot of these houses are pretty old and beat up. There's a school right here. I always like seeing a school. I like seeing schools near houses. If I see a school in front of a house or near, like in the vicinity of a house that I'm looking at, it's a bonus for me. Obviously, if the school is good, you don't want to go buy houses in like a school that gets shot up on a daily basis or has like a gun problem or a violence problem. But if it's like a school that you see kids running around outside in the middle of the day, or they're cautious, they got like security guards that let the kids in and out, and they're traffic strict, it's usually a good sign. Usually. This little Explorer guy's in such a hurry. You think he's got somewhere to be. All these plazas right here. These buildings are getting pretty old. I would say like in the next 5, and then you'd see like right here, like this is like, I don't know what this is, but this is like a brand new community right here. It's always interesting seeing something like that being built in an area like this because a lot of these properties here are cheap. A lot of these deals, nobody's looking at it because they think it's like a super ghetto area, but it usually takes one investor or like one hedge fund that comes in and starts tearing down and rebuilding things back up to change the value of the entire street dramatically. The minute people see one new building come up, they automatically think the whole area is about to change. In reality, it takes about 10 years though from start to finish before the first property gets bought and built up until the point that the whole block is nothing but nicer houses. It takes a little time. Orange Mound used to be super ghetto though, super ghetto. They cleaned up a lot. I remember like 10 years ago, you couldn't even drive through this area. Obviously, that's what people told me. I don't know how bad it really was. I'm sure people are very dramatic. Another thing to really look at whenever you're looking at these commercial properties is like, what's the you can find out. There's a way to find out what the city's plans are for certain streets, and what do I mean by that is like, if I want to start, locking up some cash and buying some of these properties in this area with the intention that, 5-10 years from now, these properties are going to be nice properties and this is going to be a good area to demolish and put like a, $1 million construction job in it. What you need to look at is you need to look at the long term, like what are the growth plans? What's phase A, phase B, phase C for the city? What are they planning on doing? What is the relevance of this city? So Park Avenue, I still don't know the relevance of it. I don't know why it's as busy as it is, because there's 3 streets that run parallel with Park that take you to the same place that Park takes you. You have Poplar Avenue to take you downtown. You have what's that? Damn, I don't know what that name of that street is. You have Walnut Grove. You have Central Avenue. I'm pretty positive runs you downtown. So I'm not too sure why people are also focusing on Park, but they are. People are. It is Memphis, and Memphis is a growing city. This block right here has 6 properties in total right now that are all, pretty old, beat up buildings. Look at these properties right here. look like trap houses. Cookouts right there. I'll go back around and call that guy. See if that deal for sale. A lot of deals just don't make it to the MLS. Like a lot of realtors don't see like different deals that are active in their area strictly because of the fact that the MLS system right now is a little sloppy. There's no real one way to view all the properties that are on the market, just because like different people use different sources. Man, this building is for sale, and then that. So this is a property I was interested in already. I've already looked at it once, like 4 or 5 times. I've submitted an offer on it once, and he gladly declined it and laughed at me. Still for sale, obviously. This was 2 months ago. I've been working on this for about 3 months in total. But this building right here, coincidentally, was one of the reasons why I didn't like this deal was because of how close it was. So let's call this guy. Let's see. What's the deal? This is the building I was looking at right here. What I didn't like was, so what I do like about this property, it's on a corner street. That's always my bonus. It's not a fancy corner street. It's just a.
Hello?
Hey, my friend, how are you?
Who's this calling?
I'm looking at a property that has your sign in front of it, off of Park. Is this Park? No,
Yeah.
this is.
Yes, sir. I'm finna call you right back on another number.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
I'm calling on my other one.
This used to be a restaurant. Hello.
Hello.
Well, it's a different phone number right here?
Oh.
I don't know what right here, guys.
I meant to say different device.
Power to the people.
This block is interesting, though. It kind of changes the deal up a little bit. Because then I'd have that whole corner right there. Hello.
Yeah, you just called about a property?
Yeah, tell me about this building. What's the story with it? What are you asking for it? Is it vacant? Did they just leave?
Well, it's vacant right now, and it's not leased yet, so it's still available. Right.
Oh, are you leasing it or is it for sale?
So which building is it? You talking about on the corner or in the middle?
You have is the corner building yours too?
No. That's Tim Burns got that listed.
Yeah, I know about that listing. I've looked at that property a couple of times. No, I'm talking about the black building. I think Tim Burns sold you the building, right?
Yes. You talking about 812?
I believe so. Not Memphis Barber College. The small building, Bluff City E-Bike. Bluff City.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it?
Okay.
Are you selling it or you renting it?
So we'll sell it. You know, we getting somebody's supposed to be getting ready to sign a lease, but it's not signed yet. So
Yeah. What's the? If you don't mind me asking, how much is the lease for?
we're at 1,500 triple net.
Okay. What are you asking for it? If you want to sell it?
Well, you know, the lot next to it is a separate parcel, and so I think that even the assessor has it about 225. So we'll take whatever the assessor's value on. We'll take 225 for it.
Okay.
I think bid is like 180 appraisal. That's just the assessor, you know. It's usually a lot more.
Yeah.
And that lot next to it is probably about 40. Whatever they come up, you know, we'll take we won't go below 225, but we'll take 225 for it. Right?
Yeah.
That'll be the lot next door, the parking lot, and the building.
And we're talking about the middle parking lot. We're talking about the middle building, not the Barber College.
Yeah, the middle building, 812, the small. That's like 1,896 square feet.
Okay.
Right.
All
And
right.
then the lot next to it go with it. Right.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Thank you, my friend.
That'll be no Elvis Presley. I don't know if you're interested outside of town.
You have something on Elvis Presley?
You know, I had 2 of them on Elvis Presley.
What's the deal with the Elvis Presley ones? What are they? Commercial units?
Man,
Or?
right now, one tenant is on a month-to-month lease. One tenant's paying $4,000 a month, triple net, and that address is 4566 Elvis Presley.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Write this down. You said 4,000 a month.
Right, triple net. Right.
Triple net.
Mm-hmm.
What's the ask on this?
It's with the agent now because we just I think it's listed at 449. Yeah, both of them are 449, and the other one listed at 399. No, I'm sorry. 4566 Elvis Presley. I think you'll see the listing price. I think that one's listed at 399. I'm sorry.
Okay. And then
It's 4446 Elvis Presley. It's on triple net lease at $3,300 a month, but it's listed at $449, I think. Right. With the Myers Company. Right.
okay. And then you don't have the address for the Highland building, do you?
Yeah, sure. 812.
812.
Yeah.
South
And I
Highland.
think the empty lot is 818.
818.
So
The empty lot.
818. Right. The empty lot next to the building on the corner is 818 South Highland.
So we're talking about the one that's between 822, like the music, the antique, and then the one that's between your building. Or are we talking about a different parcel?
Well, the building that you're calling about, 812, has a parking lot on the side of it, and that's all I'm saying. It's the building and the parking lot next to it on the right hand side of it.
But like if let's say if I were to buy the one that Tim has right now, because I'm actually trying to buy it, and then I were to buy your building, technically have the block, correct? Besides that big the barber.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Right.
All right. Thank you, Elvis Presley. Look at these two, and I'll let you know what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Thank you, my friend.
If you want to put package deal, just let me know.
Sounds
What's
good.
your name?
Abdullah.
Abdul. Okay, my name Emery Hammers. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, my friend. Bye.
You too. Okay. All right.
Who called me? 690.
Hello.
Hey, my friend. How are you?
Assalamu alaikum. It's Ahmed. My dad's Abu Yazan. He told me to come over here for my car. He said your dad's got us.
Okay.
And I'm here and nobody's here. Like your brother and you are not here.
What
The
are you?
office is closed.
What are you trying to do? Are you just dropping off the car, or what are you doing?
My car got into like an accident. Like not accident. Like my brother, he drove into a gate.
Okay.
And my dad said that your dad said to come over here and let him look at it.
I mean, are you guys gonna let us fix it, or are you just trying to get an estimate? Like, what are you trying to do right now?
I'm not sure. I mean, like, my dad is over here.
I mean, just
okay,
if your dad. Let me talk to your dad, please. Give me your dad.
I don't know where he's at right now. Yeah, let me call him and
Oh, you want to merge him onto the call?
Yeah, I'm in there right now.
All right.
I'm جاي جنبك في هذا المنزل.
I think Abdullah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming 1 minute from you.
Well, talk to Abdullah.
I'm not. None of us are at the. None of us are at the dealership.
السلام عليكم.
Wa alaikum salam. We're not at the dealership. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I didn't know you were coming.
Okay.
What are you trying to do? Do you want to just estimate, or are you dropping off the car?
At least to know what's going to cost, because if it doesn't, نشوف قديش بتكلف.
No problem, and I get it. But like, are you pretty sure you're gonna use? Because if you're gonna use us, like 80% sure, just drop it off and we'll take care of you. Like, you can leave it, and if you want to pick up,
I know. When could you look at it, please, because we have insurance. We don't want to use the insurance. If it's too high, we're going to use the insurance.
If you want to send me pictures of it, I can tell you ballpark figures right now. Like I can give you like a rough estimate. Smash, you send me 3-4 pictures, and I'll give you a ballpark estimate of what I think it's going to cost. Obviously, I'm not going to know for sure until I get there, like until I physically take the car apart. But I'll give you a ballpark figure, and you can decide if you want to use insurance or not.
When are you going to be shop?
I know. Well, I'm looking at properties right now. I'm probably not going to be there for another, and then I have a graduation downtown, so I'm not going to come over there today. But like I said, if Baba told you to come, he plans on taking care of you.
I know, I'm sure. That's why I told him to come and look.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just sent you a call, by the way.
You already sent me the picture?
Yeah, I just sent it to you. I just texted it to you.
see, the thing is, Abdullah معاي ولا مين معاي?
Abdullah. Hi, I'm Mukissa High Truck. I can tell you from now, a headlight tabat has probably $1,000. Like this truck, we're probably talking $4,000 or $5,000 to fix it. Like without even looking at it, I can tell you it's going to be at least $4,000.
Okay.
Then the headlight and the core support and the bumper and the grill, all that stuff's a lot of little pieces. If you're debating between going through insurance, I recommend going through insurance. And the chances are, once we start taking this truck apart, I'm sure there's going to be other things that come up. But it's not it doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot of little pieces that come associated with what's damaged here. And even the right pillar, the frame, it looks like it's tweaked a little bit. Just from the picture, I can see it a little bit. It looks like it's lower than it should be. I could be very wrong though.
Okay, this is what he did. He had
The gate.
fence.
Yeah.
A fence, not even a gate.
Yeah.
And
we can try to save you some money. We can try, but we're talking at least bare minimum 3,000. That's like used parts. That's probably going to take 2 to 3 weeks of sourcing parts, used, from junkyards.
okay,
I just, it's up to you. It's up to you.
this is 2025 truck.
I know. Yeah. I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. If we do it through the insurance, we can just do it right the first time. We don't have to sit here and deal with used parts. It'll look like factory.
Isn't he has it's in his name, and he's like
Yeah, I
But
know.
anyway,
I know. I hear you.
uh,
I hear you. Think
but
about it. Think about it. You don't have to make a decision right this second. Just think about it. The insurance claim will probably take a couple weeks if you want to do it through insurance. It's going to take a couple weeks before, once we get the estimate to them, it usually takes about 10 days to get an inspector out there to look at it. And then they, usually 2 weeks before they send a check once the truck is ready. And then, we'll try to save you the deductible. But for the most part, it's probably going to be a 3-4 week process. If you want us to fix it like a cash deal, we're probably talking realistically 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month.
wow, that takes that long.
No, the parts. There's a lot of little parts. You're talking about this damage right here. There's probably realistically 20 different parts that we have to order. And if it's a 2025, you're talking about ordering a lot of stuff from the dealer, and the dealer is going to sit there and want to order these parts from across the country. Some parts might be on national board. This is what happens with bodywork stuff. This is what we deal with all the time.
Okay. That doesn't look good, huh?
Okay, but it also has hail damage. Like how much do the hail damage plus that would cost?
The hail damage, we have to take it to a dent doctor. Hail damage, it can range from $500 to $5,000. It just depends how bad it is. Is it like how many? Is it a lot of little pieces?
It's not like super bad. It's like around the car, but not on the right side.
It's on the doors and the fenders and stuff too.
I don't know the fenders. I look on the doors. Yeah, on the back fender, I can see that. And on the
You're probably
One side.
Whenever it starts hitting the doors, like usually cars that come in and the hail damage is on the doors and the quarter panels, usually it's way worse than you think it is. Like once you put it under a light, you'll start seeing all the dents. But usually what happens is whenever these cars, I see a car that has doors and dents on like the bedside or the whatever, like the side panels, it's usually because it was in a pretty rough hailstorm. And it's like these little dents, whenever it's a lot of them, it takes these guys 2 to 3 weeks sometimes to pop them out.
Yeah.
And there's a shortage of dent guys right now. Like it's like we have 4 or 5 hail cars right now that have been sitting waiting for someone to come and fix them.
When are you going to be at the shop? Yeah.
I mean, do you need me to come back right now? Like, do you need me to meet you there?
I mean, if you are close by, that's great. Appreciate that.
Honestly, I'm looking at a couple commercial properties on Elvis Presley right now. If you need me to come back, come back. زي ما بدك.
No, you can do it.
We can meet tomorrow if possible.
Where do you guys live? Like, can we just meet somewhere else besides the shop? You live in South Haven?
No, Carnival.
Carnival. I live in Carnival.
You live in Carnival?
I
Yeah,
can
yeah.
bring the car to you.
Hold on. Whenever I get, probably tomorrow, realistically, tomorrow lunch, you can just swing by my
Okay,
house. I'll
that's
text you
good.
my address and we'll talk about it at the house.
Okay.
Carnival too?
I'm behind the Carnival Mall.
Oh, that's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
نيبر سنويا.
أهلا وسهلا. نعتبك إن شاء الله.
خلاص tomorrow إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله نشوفك
ماشي.
إن شاء الله.
ماشي. يلا. يلا. I got distracted, but so those 2 properties that we were looking at before I got that phone call, and I forgot to look at that damn fucking one in front of Cookout. There is one in front of Union. So I was looking at a corner building a couple weeks ago, probably a couple months ago. I liked it because it's a corner lot off of Highland. It was like a long-term buy and hold type of deal. It wasn't really worth shit right now, in my opinion, because the whole block was so ghetto and it was so beat down. But it was one of those deals where I was like, if I can, over the next 5-10 years, if I could buy every property on that block, I could be the guy that comes in and fixes them all together. And the problem was the property I liked that was for sale has another building that's literally touching it, behind it. And it really turned me off because once you tear down these older buildings, the city comes in and gives you like new rules and regulations that you have to build the new building on. And a lot of times they make you push the building back a certain amount of, feet from the street. And that lot was so awkward and so small that if they required me to move the building back, it wasn't going to be possible because of the building behind. So what's interesting now is that property is for sale too. But $225 sounds like it's too much, honestly. I'd rather have that than that one though. But it was a restaurant, and it's kind of like I said earlier, whenever you come to restaurants, doctor offices, these single-use commercial buildings where you have one tenant inside of them, you're waiting for a while before someone gets it rented. And it's like whenever you finally get that person, that's the only form of revenue you have from that building. And it's like if that person ever leaves, you're stuck all over again, versus like a multi-unit resident, commercial, whatever, apartment or whatever. So you're not just stuck from one guy. Once again, though, this is it's just a block thing. If I could own a whole block, a whole corner lot, that's nice long term. About 8 minutes away from the next property. Elvis Presley is such a weird area because the city's spending a lot of money doing the street there right now. And Whitehaven is, I don't know how close, I think Whitehaven is considered close to Elvis Presley. Whitehaven is a very nice area, like very nice for South Memphis. All my investors, when they see like house in South Whitehaven, they get very excited. Shelby Drive. Why did I take this building? Why did I take this? I need to go left. This guy's in such a fucking hurry. This lady. Everything's about to die. They're fixing the streets, but they ain't fixing them soon enough. I'll tell you that. These raggedy ass streets. Elvis Presley's probably one of the worst streets I've ever driven down in my life. To think that this area used to be the spot. Used to be the spot. People used to love this damn area. I can see the number from here, 366. Let's call this guy. All right.
Thank you for calling Cushman & Wakefield Commercial Advisors. You have reached us outside of normal business hours. If you know your party's extension, dial it at any time.
Imagine a realtor that doesn't work on weekends. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? How does a realtor not work on weekends? Like they don't have set hours. They just work whenever they work. They work at their clients' times, their customers' times. But still, somehow, these people decide not to work on the weekends, because they're such busy people, busy writing contracts, scheduling showings, miserable fucks, huh? Realtors. This is a nice little building right here. I don't know if you can really see it right there. Milan's, whatever this is, Milano. There's a weird amount of Walgreens that have been going out of business over time. They've been closing down, and Walgreens right there. I want to say there's like 10 different Walgreens for sale around Memphis right now. Old Walgreens. This one has a homeless problem, and it has do not occupy warning sticker on it. Imagine the meters are probably pulled. I don't know how long this is in here. It is a nice building, though. I bet somebody's hating that property right now. I need to find out. I need to look into that. What would be interesting is if this property was for sale and this dude doesn't have any signs on it. Shit. 3666. That's the same loser I just called.
Thank you for calling Cushman & Wakefield Commercial Advisors. You have reached...
It's funny, man. Fucking realtors. Realtors that don't work on the weekend. If your realtor doesn't work on the weekend, don't trust them. That's a lazy realtor. Find you a realtor that works at 7 p.m. on a Sunday. Not a problem. Just to help you get a deal done. Those are the realtors that you need to be teaming up with. Over the last 2 years, I've met some very, very, very interesting realtors. Very I don't know how the fuck you got your licenses or how the fuck anybody hires you. We're in front of Graceland right now. if I remember correctly, Elvis Presley, his house was up for foreclosure at some point in the last 10 years. I don't know who exactly it was. Maybe it was the trust that owns it. I don't know. But I remember whenever he bought that house, this whole area, according to history, was completely vacant. It was completely empty. It was just land. I just wonder what the long-term, value is to buying around Elvis Presley. Like, I'm just curious if this is something that's possibly going to, grow or get better over time, or is this something that's probably going to be slow for the rest of its life? But you go down the street a little bit, it gets busy again. Like it's what's this? It's 901761. Ah, 901761. It's so funny whenever you're in South Memphis. If you start slowing down and there's like people in the parking lot, they start getting paranoid, like they think they're about to get robbed or you're about to do a drive-by on them. There's a Krispy Kreme here somewhere. This dude's following me. Who the fuck is this guy? I saw that Tesla a couple times. 7, 6, 1, 5, 5, 9. Let's go.
Hello, and thank you for calling Myers Commercial Real Estate. Please leave a detailed message after the tone, and we'll return your call as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hey, I'm calling about a property you guys have off of Elvis Presley. I don't know exactly what address this is, but it's in front of the Piccadilly cafeteria and it's next to the best catfish or best wings of Memphis. 3993 Elvis Presley. Thank you. 901-831-9661. Once again, it's 901-831-9661. Task Force is here. I wonder who they're arresting. That's that fucking Tesla that was following me. I knew that Tesla was weird. I saw that car 3-4 times. And whenever, like I'm saying 3-4 times, like I'm talking about, like I've been driving back and forth to different properties. It's not often you see the same car more than once. Whenever you're, jumping from side of the city to side of the city, most people are just going to one destination. He might be suspicious of me, though. That could be the task force himself, because it is tinted out pretty well. The nice thing is that this is away from the really ghetto part. There's a cookout right there. Cookout usually knows what they're doing whenever they pick their areas. So one thing I like about this right now is a lot of these buildings are new buildings, a lot of them. And like this church right here doesn't look like it's more than probably 5 years old, maybe. That plaza right there looks like it's a few years old. King Palace 4430. This isn't it. 440-446. This guy, all of his places are rented to barbershops. 4446. This thing was rented for $3,300 a month. Comes with land behind it. It's not really interesting. So this is a single unit, big commercial unit. Looks like it's probably 2,000 square feet. Barbershop. It's busy. It's good to see that. It's busy. It means I shouldn't have a problem paying that. And then 4566 right here. 4566. No, this isn't it. 4560. Oh, another barbershop. This guy must like barbershops. Looks through a bank. I don't really know if I'm interested in the barbershops. I do like that there's new builds though. I do like that there's new builds. I could own that barbecue place right there would be a bonus. I might pursue this one. These Elvis, like this is in a perfect place of Elvis Presley because every like it's an extremely attractive intersection. Oh, Shelby Drive is right there. I didn't know Shelby Drive intercepts with Elvis Presley. That's interesting. So we're on like the left side of the city right now. These buildings are fully occupied. This bank looks like it's just closed, but it's occupied. This old plaza is fully occupied. This Dodge Dart is right in my ass for no fucking reason. It's a huge church. These deals would be interesting if they come with some land with them. Like if it has land behind it. What's up, my friend? How are you? What you been up to? I thought you said you want to start buying some houses. Hospital right behind here too. One of the important things I'm looking at here is the fact that all these drive-thrus, all these restaurants are all new. But one of my things I'm going to look at now is I'm going to look for a crime rate in the street, make sure people aren't getting shot up on a daily basis around here. Then I'm going to look up market rents for all these buildings that got, because I like these two offices, these two buildings. I can see potential where if I could buy the building next door to it at some point in the next 5 years, I can have like two plots next to each other that I can tear down and rebuild a nice plaza on. So I'm looking for like market rents in the area. What is it currently going for? How long are they sitting on the market? Then my next thing is the crime rate. We already talked about that. And two, what types of businesses like are renting out here, just to know like what type of business it is that I need to, like if I want to build a commercial plaza, I need to make sure that there are people, there's like a reason, or there's businesses that aren't here yet, like franchise businesses that would rent from my commercial plaza. How much are those people probably going to pay and what the long-term lease is going to be. And once I get my, numbers from the leasing side, from the other side, then I need to figure out how much is it going to cost to build, how much are going to buy these buildings for, to figure out if this is like a good investment.